16 going on 17 years. And like most of you, I was raised with the values to go to school so that we can get a good education and grow up and get a good one.
Job.
Okay, so that's changed a little bit now. No knock on jobs. As our founder says always, jobs pay your bills. We use this industry to create our fortune. But now it's go to school to get a good education and grow up and get a good bill. Because the student loan debt, that's another place where you hear the $1 trillion word. Our student loan debt is $2 trillion. I'm part of that. Raise your hand if you're part of that $2 trillion debt. Don't be shy. Some people went like this. No, we understand that the student loan debt is $2 trillion. And not to say that there's any knock on education. I'm currently an adjunct professor, which simply means that I teach part-time at a university, 2 days a week, 3 hours a day. No one could have told me 10.5 years ago that I would be standing in front of a room doing a business presentation for a network marketing vehicle. Because honestly, I did not believe in them. Not only did I not believe in them, I spoke very negatively about it. And the reason for that was because we weren't taught that you can create an income stream from home. We go to school from now it's pre-K 2. You have pre-K 2, you have 2 years old in pre-K. But we go to school from at least kindergarten through 8th grade. 9 years of school at least. Then we go to high school for 4 more years, 13 years of school. And then some of us go get our bachelor's degrees. Some of us take another 9 years or 13 years to get that. But we go to school at least 13 to 17 years if we go to college. And we are not taught that you can create an income stream from home. So that was the reason why I wasn't open to this. I absolutely love my job as an educator. I'm a former school administrator. And again, I loved what I did. I loved servicing the children, the community, the parents. I absolutely love that. But raise your hand if you are also a person who loved what you did. Not too many people. But I'll tell you what I did not like about what I was doing. I didn't like the politics. And in urban education in America, there's books on how bad urban education in America is right now. And it's really not about the kids, it's about money, it's about politics. So that's one of the things that I did not like. So when I was introduced to this industry 10.5 years ago, what I saw made perfect sense to me. And that was exactly what Ms. Latoya Chin showed you. If we can go back to that slide that says get paid on what you're doing anyway, almost everybody, forget that almost. Everybody you know wants to travel. If you put a survey out and said, if we give you all the money and all the time in the world, the answer will be, you don't even have to have multiple choice. You can have fill in the blank. The answer is going to be, what are you going to do? You're going to travel. So I got started immediately. I reaped the benefits and rewards of traveling, first and foremost for myself and my family. The first trip that I booked for someone by accident, well, it wasn't an accident, I was eavesdropping on some peers who were going to the Bahamas, and they were talking about the fact that they were being overcharged for this trip. So I looked up the trip, I came to the table for all 10 of them, undercut the price by about $100 per person. They booked with me. My first commission check was over $2,000. Over $2,000. Fast forward about a year, I was kind of talking to going into what was called a red carpet event with that particular company. I didn't know that I was going to have a life-changing experience because I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Donald Bradley and other leaders in that company. Mr. Donald Bradley made his first $1 million in that company. I was sold. So not only was I trying to reap the benefits and the rewards of a travel professional, I wanted to find out how to get to the money. And that's when I became a student of the network marketing profession. And here we are with the marketing compensation plan that is probably one of the most powerful compensation plans on the planet, no pun intended. Warren Buffett, a lot of people refer to him as their uncle. I wish he was my uncle, but he's not. But Warren Buffett, one of the, I don't know, he toggles between the #1 and #2 wealthiest man in the world. But he says, never rely on a single source of income. You must invest to create a second source. Now, how many of you know people who've retired from their jobs and they've gone out and got another job? You know people like that?
Yes.
So you know what I call that? Switching jobs. You almost ask, why didn't you stay on the job that you were on anyway?
Right.
You know, I know a lot of individuals that have done that, whether it be law enforcement profession, the education profession, or what have you. But here, Mr. Buffett says, you must invest to create a second source. Raise your hand if you've ever referred, well, let's make this easy. Raise your hand if you referred the Black Panther to somebody. Okay, keep your hands up. Raise your hand if you referred a beautician, a restaurant, any type of movie outside of Black Panther. I think everybody's hands are up, at least 90% of you. Now raise your hand again if you got paid for those referrals. Black Panther has made $1,250,000,000. And I guarantee you 50% of that was on word of mouth referrals. So can you imagine getting paid on that? That is the power of what you're about to see here with the Plannet marketing side of the business. Very, very simple program. If you sell the program that Ms. LaToya Chen just shared with you, if you sell an ITA or an IntelliTravel agency, should you choose this side of the business, you will receive for every direct sale, $50. Now we know in New York City, you don't get excited. You can buy a sandwich at, what's that, Cat's Deli sandwich.
Yes.
Costs $30.
That's true, yes.
You get the French fries, it's over 50.
That's right.
So we understand that $50 doesn't get you excited, but what bill could that pay? Be honest, and it's through infinity, no limit on that. This next or second income stream is amazing. It's a 50% check match on the personal ITA sale, someone that you personally enrolled into the business. Raise your hand if you've ever referred someone to a job. Keep your hand up if you got paid. Every time they got paid on payday, the law says, listen, we're going to give you 50% of that pay. If they made $100,000 that year, you're going to make an additional $50,000. That didn't happen on your job, but it happens here. Every time you refer someone to the business, they get excited. Let's say Ronald goes out. Chris is taking his name tag off, but I remembered his name. So Ronald goes out. He says, listen, Chris, I ran into something that's amazing. I need for you to take a look. Chris looks at it. He says, this makes perfect sense. I'm going to get started. Chris got excited that week. He shared his business with 10 people. 3 individuals got started with him. He made $50 for each person that came aboard. But Ronald, for enrolling Chris, how many times? One time, right?
One time.
Every time Chris gets paid, Ronald gets a 50% match of that. So Ronald makes $75 off of that $150. And every time Chris sells an ITA, we have an individual in this company who has sold over 150 ITAs.
Wow.
She's the #1 recruiter in this company. Absolutely amazing. She was an owner of a beauty salon. She's now left that salon. She's building a fortune here with Plannet Marketing. Our third stream of income on the marketing side of the business is our team bonus. What I fell in love with in this industry or in this profession was the fact that you get paid to help other people. That's teamwork. We say teamwork makes the dream work. So Mr. Bradley put in place what's called a team bonus. It pays an additional $10 for every level up to 5-star from Gold Builder. Now, what does that look like? As a Gold Builder, and you hear from some of those individuals in a moment, you not only receive $50 every time you sell an ITA, now as a Gold Builder, you begin to receive $60. That's your first level. I want you to pay attention to how powerful that is. If you are a Gold Builder and you're away, let's say, I don't know, you're in South Africa or something, you're enjoying yourself, you didn't get the extended bill on your cell phone carrier, so your team grows while you're there for a week, your organization grows by 10 people. You will come back to a check for $10 for each of the individuals that came aboard in your organization. So you'll come home to a check for $100. That's the first level of $10 team bonuses. So I want you to pay attention to that. As we move on, I want you to recognize again, there's no limit on direct sales One of the things another thing that I fell in love with this industry is the fact that there's no glass ceiling. There's no glass ceiling. You can make as much money as you want. We have a builder program, which means that we recognize individuals that have enrolled at least 3 individuals in our company. We call those people bronze builders. So if you're in the room right now and you are a bronze builder, please stand and be recognized. All right, let me hear you say next level.
Next level.
If you are a silver builder, that means that you simply doubled the activity. I guess we have one sitting here. That means that you simply doubled that effort. Now you have enrolled 6 individuals into the company. If you are a silver builder, please stand and be recognized. Gold builder deserves a little bit more information. Again, you've already heard about the first level of $10 team bonuses. The second thing that you receive as a gold builder is a 10% match on the personal ITA's travel. So that cruise that was $2,224, if you are a gold builder that enrolled that person, they'll receive that $2,224, but most of the time, by surprise, we call it surprise money, you are going to receive that 10% unbeknownst to you. So you're going to get a check for $224. Wow. Every time, if you have someone who's excited about travel and earning $100,000 a year in travel commissions, you're getting $10,000 from that individual that you enrolled again one time. A prime example of leverage income. Last but not least, for Gold Builder, you will receive a 10% match on a personal reps matrix commission. That is simply our profit sharing pool. I'll share that with you in a moment, but at this time, if you are a Gold Builder, please join me in front of the room.
No. Got more coming, got more coming. Woohoo!
All right, so our gold builders are going to share their name, occupation, and quick 10 seconds while playing marketing.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Plannet. I'm in real estate, and the reason why I do marketing because it just makes sense. That's simple.
Cordella Cooper, I work at Barneys, New York. Why Plannet Marketing? I just want to be free. I just want to be free. And Plannet Marketing allows you to be free.
My name is Frank Morris. I'm an opera singer, also slash MTA out of New York City. And I love my grandchildren, and that's my most important thing. Make sure I leave a legacy for them.
So our profit sharing pool, which is referenced here as our matrix. Very, very simple. Do not get analysis paralysis when looking at this. It is simply our profit sharing pool that Mr. Bradley put in place. It's one of the game changers in this company. There are 9 levels of pay in the system. How do you unlock these first 2 levels? By enrolling 2 ITAs. Now, you've already seen evidence of bronze builders, silver builders, and gold builders, which means that you have individuals in the room that have unlocked these levels. Each seat in this profit sharing pool pays $4 per seat. So I want you to visualize that you're walking into that same movie theater. You went to see Black Panther. The first row of the theater was 3 seats. The second row multiplied by 3 going back would be 9. You guys are like, this is not math class. But I want to give you this visual. The third row multiplied by 3 going back is 27. The fourth is 81. And that pattern continues all the way up to the 9th row where you will have 683 seats in that theater. Make sense? So chances are the individuals that come in to that theater, they're gonna sit in that first row. We understand the power of something that's filling up. We understand the power of importance or sense of urgency when you have something as exciting as that film. Well, this isn't the film, but this company's exciting. You heard Ms. LaToya Chin tell you that we are basically at 25,500 agents in 2 years and 5 months. So our matrix is filling up. The first level of pay is going to pay you $12 residually. That means that it's just like the bills that you get every month. Those bills come fast. Well, just imagine that you can get that residually coming in. Again, $12 is not going to make you wealthy, but it's an additional $12 that you have coming into your household every month. The second level has a potential payout of $48. The third, $156. The fourth, $480. And I want to stop there because statistics show that most foreclosures could have been saved with an additional $500 a month. So if you are an individual who has enrolled 4 people, have the potential payout of $480, you could certainly maintain your mortgage or your rent. The payout goes all the way up to $118,092. I'm gonna round that up for example purposes to $120,000. I'm also kind of throw myself in a time capsule back to that very negative person that I was 11 years ago that would have said, probably out loud, nobody's going to make $120,000 per month. Well, here's the response to that. 50% to all of our educators, you got a 50 on the test. That's $60,000 a month. You got a 10 on the test. 10%, that's $12,000 per month. 5% is $6,000 per month.
Huge.
Chances are, with all of the other streams of income, you're earning over $8,333 per month, which means that you are a 6-figure earner, and you got our profit sharing pool 5% right. Is that not powerful?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley continued to put things in place for those individuals that are looking to change their zip codes. And we have people changing zip codes. I saw a Facebook Live yesterday of a very powerful couple in here who I believe just qualified for their $250,000 ring that they'll be receiving in Baltimore within the next few days. They're changing zip codes. They went all the way out west. We have a director program that's powerful. It starts with 1-star directorship. That basically means that you are a goal builder who has a team that collectively built to 100 people. That simply means that you are now receiving a $500 bonus on the first, or last month I think we got on the 28th or 29th. I was like, wait a minute, that was a nice email to get your bonus before the month even started. In addition to that, how much is each seat in the theater? $4. You have at least, and this is the ground floor, I want to make sure you understand that. You have at least 100 to 299 people in your organization as a 1-star. You're getting $4 per person in your organization. That's $400 plus $500, $900. But Mr. Bradley says that a 1-star director in these 2 streams of income will not make any less than $1,000. So that's $12,000 a year. Now, I told you that I served as a school administrator for 11 years, but I can tell you for the last 7 of those 11 that I was on the same pay scale. 7 of the 11. Here you're giving yourself a $12,000 raise. When's the last time anybody got a $12,000 raise?
Wow.
Okay. In addition to that, I told you about the first level of $10 team bonuses. Here's our second level. Now, as a 1-star director, you receive $70 when you enroll someone into the organization. And now when you're still, that same example of being in South Africa, your team grew by 10 people. Now you're coming home to a check for $200.
Wow. Huge.
Are you starting to understand that $10 team bonus?
That's huge.
This $10 team bonus goes all the way up to 5-star directorship, which means that you will receive $110 for enrolling one person into the organization. That same example of being in South Africa and your organization grew by just 10 people, you're coming home to a check for $600.
Wow.
That week, $600. I guess you guys aren't excited about that.
There we are.
Miss LaToya Chin and I are blessed to be at the 2-star rank, which means that we have an organization of 300 plus. That is about teamwork, that is about team effort. It is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing accomplishment. That means you have goal builders, you have individuals that are at 20/20, you have individuals that are directors in your organization.
Yes.
As a 2-star director, again, minimum 300 times 4 is $1,200 plus $1,000 bonus. Now you're at $2,200 a month, 2 streams of income. That's over $25,000 a year. I think the average income in America right now is roughly around $31,000. So with 2 streams of income just from the marketing compensation plan, you're basically about to match the average income in America. Is that not powerful? As a 3-star director, again, 500 times 4, 2,000 plus $2,000, $48,000 a year, 2 streams of income. 5-star director, I didn't skip 4, I just want to highlight 5 because currently we have 2 individuals in our company who are at 5-star directorship. One is roughly around 6,000 in his organization, and one is at 7,000 in his organization. So let's do the math. We have, again, $4 times, let's use Mr. Cedric White, who's my personal mentor, former waiter, couldn't afford to wait to eat at the tables where he waited, but he's now our #1 money earner in the company. He's a Morehouse dropout. He had an eviction notice, this is his story. He had an eviction notice on his door for 13 months straight.
Wow.
This guy now is earning over $500,000 per year.
Huge.
7,000 in his organization. 7,000 times 4 is 28,000 plus 10,000, $38,000 a month.
Wow.
2 streams of income, $38,000 a month. Mr. Bradley became a millionaire in our very first business project, where he received that millionaire status off of $2 seats. So he understood the power of $4 seats here. That's why we have 2 individuals so far, again, in 2 years and 5 months, who will be $1 million earners in this company. Mr. Bradley's vision is to create 100 6-figure earners. We currently have 15, I think the 16th has qualified in 2 years and 5 months. We are built to become a legacy company, which means that we will have individuals who hit 9-star, who will have 100,000 people in their organization. We will have, and we are built for long-term growth, which means that we will have millions of people in this organization. We will not be anywhere close to this room size within the next 6 to 12 months. I can guarantee you that. If you look back, for those of you who came in earlier, they were wondering why I said, well, can you move up front? You can look back and see, we don't have any seats. This New York has not been touched yet. There will be tens of thousands of individuals in this company just in New York City. We have a ring program that is absolutely amazing. You heard Ms. LaToya Chin mention Beyonce, or as Mr. Orlando Moore calls it in French, Beyonce. She's not the only person that puts a ring on it. We do as well. We have a Sapphire Ring program. When you earn $8,333 a month, you will receive the Sapphire Ring. Once you have earned $250,000 a year, which signifies that you're earning roughly about $21,000 per month, 2 months in a row, you get the Ruby Ring, and the Diamond Ring Rare, somewhere around $40,000 a month. You will receive that. Again, we have currently 1 person, Mr. Cedric White, wearing it. Mr. Orlando Moore will receive his at convention. The double diamond ring is in place for those individuals that are earning $83,333 per month. And again, we have 2 individuals on pace to hit that. In addition, once you hit 5-star, you are given a Rolex watch with a value of roughly between $20,000 and $25,000.
Mhm.
Now, most of us are not gonna spend that on a watch, but raise your hand if you won't wear this if somebody gives it to you. We have a turnkey business, all of the tools that you need, just like you saw from the travel side. Incredible website. This app is amazing. Business partners, raise your hand if you have this app and you use it.
Yes.
Absolutely powerful. Again, you heard that we are in 22 countries. You cannot build this business. You cannot be in business if your business is not mobile. The app is powerful, real time. You can see when your team grows. I love getting that, that information across my phone when it says your direct rep has made an ITA sale. Absolutely powerful because you know that you've made money on your smartphone. Training on demand, live, everything that you need, live events. We're gonna do a quick exercise right now. Please stand if you're going to Baltimore in 24 to 48 hours. Absolutely amazing, thank you guys. Absolutely amazing event that we have, 1,500 people. You cannot get a hotel room. I had another partner who's looking for a room. I called around today for about 2 hours. You can't get a hotel room. They said, we think Plannet Marketing took over Baltimore, Maryland. We have another amazing event where we will have well over 3,000 people in Atlanta at the Omni in September. And we already have something booked for 2019. So we're continuing to expand. I know that we'll be taking over some stadiums within probably the next 18 months or so.
Yes.
April of last year, about a year ago today, we had the opportunity to witness something presented by Mr. Bradley that brought a tear or tears to every director's eye in the place. And that's this Plannet Marketing Pledge, which simply means that once you hit directorship, God forbid something happens to you, your business that you built it so it should be yours, can be willed to your family. So if you are that individual that's earning $100,000 a year annually, and God forbid something happens, your family will now begin to receive that money, all of it, 100% of your money. That shows the dignity, that shows the integrity, and the giving heart and spirit of our founder, Mr. Donald Bradley. He does not want your money. Most owners out here, they'll be happy that you're gone. They'll act like they're sad, but they'll be happy that you're gone so they don't have to pay that six-figure income. Not Mr. Bradley. You will receive everything that is provided to you. So we are here at a place where, again, 10.5 years ago, it was a no-brainer for me to get started. It made perfect sense for me. Although I was very negative, I understood that you should get paid for something that you're doing anyway. Warren Buffett says if you understand it and you use it, you should own it. And who understands travel? Raise your hand if you understand travel. Okay, some of you don't understand it. Okay, raise your hand if you use travel or would like to use travel. So to our guests, that's a sign that you should own it. So again, I made a very quick decision. There's a great book out there called Think and Grow Rich that says that all successful people make decisions very quickly and, if at all, very rarely change their mind. It also says that unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly and frequently change their mind. True story, I was getting a pedicure. You guys don't look down at my feet, but I was getting a pedicure on Saturday, and I sat next to a young lady who was interested in a book that I was reading called Everything Happens for a Reason. Took a picture of the book and said, listen, I'll be in Florida this week. I need something great to read. So I said, awesome, how often do you travel? Not that often, but I think that's going to change. This is what she said to me. So it was almost like she prophesied that she was going to become an IntelliTravel agent. Long story short, we met about 3 hours later at her job. I did the presentation for her. Before the presentation was over, her credit card was down on the table. She understood the power of something that she wanted. She didn't know me from a can of paint, but she got started. Got started and is very excited. If you are number 2, that means you simply have questions. So to our guests, we ask you to get your questions answered tonight. Don't leave here and go home and ask someone who didn't see the movie. You ever go see a movie, you try to explain the movie to somebody, they didn't see it, they said, did you like it? No, they didn't like it, because they didn't see it. We ask you not to go home and ask someone that you would not trade places with. If they're not driving your dream vehicle or living in your dream home, then you do not want to get their response. So get your questions answered this evening. And if you're number 3, that means you're not at a change window. I love to reference the 4-room apartment model of change, and it's very, very simple. The hardest thing for people to do is to change. The first 2 rooms, that's why it's called an apartment, that people live in, number 1, is comfortability and contentment. That's room number 1. And number 2 is denial. I know those rooms well because I lived there for 29, well, 29, we're gonna subtract some time. But I lived there for 39 years. Most people live there forever. The 3rd room is confusion. So I said I served as a school administrator, but what I didn't tell you was that I was terminated from that 6-figure job, wrongfully terminated. So I was confused then. That will make everybody confused. That 4th room is renewal. That person that I sat next to in that nail salon didn't know that she was gonna meet me. I didn't know that I was going to meet her, but she knew that she needed something different in her life. So she made that decision. So I don't know if this vehicle is for you. We ask you that you get your questions answered. The only thing that I know in closing is for things to change, who has to change? You have to change. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. I don't know what that 1 step is. That's something that you would have to answer. In order for things to change, again, you have to change. I want to thank Miss Latoya Chin for the individuals that are helping out in here. I want to thank Mr. Frank Morris, our ladies out there at the door, Sharice, Jocelyn, and Miss Cooper. And I want to thank our guests and partners tonight. We're going to have a training tonight in about 5 minutes. So for those of you that are guests, get signed up real quick and you can stay for the training, or you're welcome to stay for the training, regardless of whether or not you get signed up right now. You're certainly welcome to stay for the training. But again, thank you. 5 minutes, we're going to get started with our training.